Every month, millions of people pay for products they once expected to own. And for many people, that's become completely normal. This isn't about one company. It's about a business model that's quietly changing the way we buy, use, and think about products. One of the clearest examples didn't begin in Silicon Valley. It began on farms.
One morning you wake up and realize that you own nothing of your own. Your home is a monthly rental, essentially a subscription. Your appliances operate on a subscription basis. Your business and how you earn a living also depends on subscription to a specific software. And ultimately, even your car nowadays runs on a subscription. Your entire life has become one continuous subscription. Agriculture is the fundamental industry without which we simply could not function as a society. Most countries rely on the production, consumption, and exports of agricultural products. In Europe, major agricultural producers include Poland, Romania, Spain, and many other countries. On a global scale, countries like China, Australia, and United States play a crucial role in feeding the world. Now imagine buying a tractor that costs hundreds of thousands of dollars. It sits on your land, you have paid for it in full, but one day it breaks down, and you can't repair it without the manufacturer's permission. Modern agricultural equipment contains dozens of computers that control the engine, transmission, GPS guidance, emission systems, and many other functions. In many cases, after certain repairs are completed, the machine also needs access to manufacturer's diagnostic software to verify or calibrate the new components. For years, many farmers argued that they couldn't freely access those tools themselves or choose any repair shop they wanted. Instead, they often had to rely on authorized dealers for specific software-related procedures. That debate became known as the right to repair movement. It wasn't just about fixing tractors, it was about a much bigger question. If you own a machine, should you also have full control over the software that makes it work? The discussion became so significant that several US states introduced right to repair legislation. In 2023, John Deere signed a memorandum with the American Farm Bureau Federation to expand access to repair resources for farmers. And in 2025, the US Federal Trade Commission filed a lawsuit against Deere, alleging that the company repairs practices limited competition in the repair market. Deere disputed those allegations. Later, the company also agreed to settle one of the class action lawsuits related to repair issues. This did not mean the problem had been fully resolved, but it demonstrated just how serious the debate surrounding digital control over hardware had become. That's why having access to trusted replacement parts is just as important as having access to the right repair tools. Agronek is a company specializing in reliable spare parts and components for agricultural machinery. The company supplies parts for John Deere, New Holland, Case IH, Virax, Listiki, and many other leading agricultural equipment brands. Agronek focuses on proven quality, fair pricing, fast delivery, and helping farmers find the right parts to keep their equipment running with minimal downtime. Because during planting or harvest, every hour of lost time matters. The idea of paying for something after you have already bought it isn't limited to tractors. Over the past few years, the automotive industry has been moving in a similar direction. Modern cars are no longer just mechanical machines. There are computers on wheels, powered by millions of lines of software code. In 2022, BMW attracted worldwide attention after introducing subscription options for some vehicles' features in several markets. One of the most discussed examples was heated seats. The hardware was already installed inside the vehicle, but access to the feature required an additional monthly payment in countries where the program was offered. The reaction was immediate. Drivers argued that if the equipment was already built into the car, they shouldn't have to continue paying to use it. After widespread criticism, BMW later stepped back from the heated seats subscription. However, the company has continued offering subscriptions for some digital services and software-based features. The debate wasn't really about heated seats. It was about a much bigger question. If you have already bought the car, where does ownership end and where does the software begin? For the seats, buying software was simple. You went to a store or ordered a licensed copy online, you paid once, you installed the program and you could use it for years. Adobe Photoshop, Illustrator, Premiere Pro, this was how millions of designers, photographers and video editors worked. Nowadays, almost everyone uses these programs for work. Then in 2013, Adobe made one of the biggest business decisions in the history of the software industry. The company stopped selling most of its professional software as one-time purchases. Instead, it introduced Adobe Creative Cloud, a subscription service. From that moment on, instead of owning the latest version of the software, customers paid every month for continued access. The decision sparked intense criticism. Many professionals argued they no longer truly owned the tools they relied on for their work. Others appreciated receiving regular updates, cloud storage, and new features without waiting years for the next major release. More than 10 years later, the subscription model has become Adobe's standard way of delivering its products. It wasn't just a new pricing strategy, it changed the relationship between customers and software. For freelancers, this effectively means operating at a loss, as a portion of their earnings goes towards a monthly fee. Adobe changed how creative software was sold, but that was only the beginning. Today, subscriptions are no longer limited to designers and video editors. They have quietly become part of everyday life for hundreds of millions of people. Say Microsoft as an example. For years, people bought Microsoft Office once and used it for as long as they wanted. Word, Excel, PowerPoint, they lived on your computer. Today, Microsoft encourages users to choose Microsoft 365 instead. Instead of buying the software outright, you pay for continued access. In return, you receive automatic updates, cloud storage through OneDrive, security improvements, and UI-powered features that continue to evolve over time. It's a different way of using software. You are no longer buying a finished product, you are subscribing to an ecosystem. Over the past decade, subscriptions have expanded from music and software into industries that once seemed impossible to imagine. Today you can subscribe to cloud storage, artificial intelligence, cybersecurity, business software, and even certain features in your car. So the next question becomes obvious. Where does it stop? Could subscriptions eventually become part of almost everything we use? Some industries are already moving in that direction. In housing, for example, more people are choosing long-term renting over buying, not because ownership has disappeared, but because high property prices and changing lifestyles make renting a practical option for many. In transportation, subscription-style access to vehicles has become tested by several manufacturers, allowing customers to use different cars without purchasing one outright. In technology, AI services are increasingly offered through monthly plans, giving users continuous access to new features instead of a one-time purchase. These examples don't mean ownership is disappearing, but they do show that in many areas, business are placing greater emphasis on providing ongoing access rather than selling a product once.